Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Saturday. It's a fantastic time to spend in the greenhouse. We're in here. We're planting some seeds today. We're going to be doing some cucamelon seeds, some rhubarb Swiss chard seeds, which is what I'm currently growing. They look like this. Look at the gorgeous color on that. So that's the rhubarb Swiss chard. We're growing that. We're going to be growing some cabbage and Brussels sprouts. So I figured I'd just take you guys along and we'll just throw some seeds in some soil. What do you say? So in the tray here, let me fix this camera up. So we're using a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45, 50, 55, 60. A 60 cell tray. These ones are a little bigger than the 72 cell trays I've been using. On this side over here, we have cauliflower. There we go, sorry. We have cauliflower germinating here. We have broccoli germinating here. And that leaves us 4 rows left to plant. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do 1 row of each. And I only want to grow 1 of everything in each cell except for cucamelons. I'm going to plant multiple cucamelon seeds in each tray or in each cell. So we're do some Brussels sprouts. What do you say? Nope, sorry about that. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to figure out how big your seeds are to figure out how deep you're going to want to grow them. So you guys are going to be surprised for the size of the plant, but look at how little and tiny these Brussels sprout seeds are. So we don't need a deep hole at all. Just essentially enough that the potting mix is going to cover them up. You don't want these things to have to struggle to break the surface. But what we are going to do is we are going to drop several seeds in each hole because I have lots and I can always thin them, so that's no big deal. And this is going to increase my chances of having enough plants growing in case some of those seeds don't germinate. Right? Make sense? Yeah. And then we get out our trusty marker, which I just had. Oh, there it is. Got our homemade custom labels from yogurt containers. It's a repeating theme on this channel. Just write on it Brussels sprouts. Now we just stick that sucker right in there. Like that. Just throw that up there. What do you say? Should we do some Swiss chard next? Let's do some Swiss chard. Last year I grew a rainbow mix of Swiss chard, but I wasn't overly happy with it. Some of the plants grew bigger than what I was hoping, and they took up a lot more room. So this year, and I didn't end up eating a lot of what I grew last year. So this year we're just going to grow a couple of plants, and that way we're always going to have some to eat without having to occupy a ton of space in the garden. That's a little shallow. Because I'm growing more this year than I did last year. But one of the reasons is if you guys were following my channel last year, you might remember that I had the spring garlic bed that never grew. So that was all wasted space. There was like 20 feet of that in the beds that never grew. And then we had the other bed that I just never even planted. And that was about 10 feet long. So this year I'm compensating by making sure I have lots and lots of stuff to plant. So little Swiss chard label. And if you're ever wondering whether you're planting them too deep or not, because some seed packs won't say, right? But if you look on a seed pack, see here, it says 1/2 inch. But if you look on some other ones like these, right, it doesn't tell you how deep you want to go, right? So what you want to do is, essentially, if you're not too sure, err on the shallower side than the deeper side. So we're doing cabbage, okay? And cabbage and Brussels sprouts are from the same family. So in case you're wondering, broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, kale, mustard greens, they're all from the same genetic family. They've just been modified over the years, right? Through selective breeding and stuff to give us the plants that we know today that we eat. So these cabbage seeds, if you look, are pretty much identical to the Brussels sprout seeds. See? So they're tiny. We plant them shallow. Plant a couple in each hole because I would rather thin plants than not have any germinate, right? Because it's mid-April right now. And in a week or so, if these aren't germinating, I'm now set back a week and we are getting close to planting time. So it's just easier. It's easier to just overseed and not worry as much because you've got sort of, you know, backups to your backups. Does that make sense? There. Put these back in the bag. I'm really hoping my cabbage grow this year. Last year was the first year I actually successfully grew cabbage. The only problem was I missed the harvest date by about a week, and all my cabbages went from nice and round and they literally tore open like this and they looked like great big green Pac-Man heads, and there was a great big tear. They literally just like blew apart. And then what happened is the slugs got in there. The slugs got in there before I could harvest them and bring them home. And so when I finally harvested them and I brought them home, they rotted in my kitchen because I couldn't get them processed fast enough, and the slugs just went to town on them. So this year, I'm going to be paying a lot more attention to my harvest date because I want to make sauerkraut, homemade fermented sauerkraut, because that stuff tastes nothing like the stuff that you get in the store that's mass produced, right? So these are cucamelon seeds, if harvested from my cucamelons. If you guys haven't grown cucamelon seeds, I recommend them to everybody. Now, saying that, they are definitely an acquired taste. They look like a little tiny watermelon about the size of a grape. And they grow on these little vines, but they put out a fruit every like 6 inches down those vines, and those vines grow really prolifically, right? They have all kinds of suckers and stuff growing off, which then produce more fruit, which then produce more suckers and more fruit, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to plant a couple in each hole, and we're doing 5 cells here. And let's say I get 3 plants or whatever in each hole, and I grow these up. It will literally grow. You have to trellis these. You got to. But it will literally grow into like a green wall. You won't even be able to see through it. And you will have more cucamelon than you're going to know what to do with it. Which is great. I've pickled them, but I did it in an apple cider pickling brine. And the apple cider vinegar was a little too much apple cidery for the cucamelons. So I didn't really enjoy that. So this year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pickle them in a standard vinegar. They kind of taste like a cross between a lime and a cucumber, I guess would be a good description of what they taste like. My kids love them. You know, they're the kind of things where you can pick them and just stick them in a bowl on your table, and when people walk by, you can just, you know, grab a handful and keep on walking. That's what's so nice about them. And they, like, I'm not joking, if all these grow here, I will have thousands of these little cucamelon fruit growing. So you really don't need many plants to get a huge harvest from these. That's what's nice. And they don't take up a massive amount of space. People grow them up fence lines and trellis netting and all that kind of stuff, but you gotta raise them off the ground. That's the trick. Because what'll happen is they grow so densely that if you don't have them raised off the ground, that you just simply won't be able to harvest them. All right, let's get a little tag. Find my big fat marker, wherever I keep putting that. There it is. Right on the label. Can I ask you guys a question for you guys that watch my content? Do you prefer the format like this where I'm sitting beside the camera and you guys are just kind of watching my hands work? Or would you prefer me putting the camera over here and having it face me so you can see my face as well as the seed trays and stuff that we're working on? I'm always looking for new ways of doing things, and you guys as the viewers are the reason that I do this. So your opinion is important to me. So could you please let me know in the comments if you guys want me to try and put the camera over there kind of facing this direction while we're doing this sort of thing. I don't have a microphone, but I will buy one. And that's one of the reasons why I do it this way, is because you guys can pick up my voice here because I film on my cell phone. But if I put the camera over there, I'm going to have to talk louder. I'm going to sound a little more muffled. But I'm in the process of researching to pick up one of those little lapel microphones anyways. So, yeah. So let me know in the comments. I'll be right back. I got to get some water. All right. So we'll give all these things a drink. Kickstart the process. We'll put the dome back on. And these will all be growing real soon. All right, and this water is from my blue tote that you guys have seen me have the mosquito dunks in. So now everything that's watered in the greenhouse at all times is getting watered with mosquito dunk water. And you guys have probably noticed through the filming in the last couple of weeks or so, there's almost no fungus gnats in here. Remember how they were flying all over the place? Well, that problem has pretty much resolved itself because of those mosquito dunks. So if you're having a fungus gnat problem, I know it's probably extensive at the beginning. Use those mosquito dunks. Keep on top of it. They seriously work. Okay, I was, hesitant because there's so much crap you read on the internet about how everything works. This stuff genuinely works. So, yeah. All right, guys. So we got this whole tray planted out. And the greenhouse is filling up faster and faster every day. So have a fantastic day, guys. If you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button and the notification bell. Give me a big thumbs up because it's helping the algorithm. And I'd appreciate it if you shared this out because, you know, the more people we can get growing, the better off it's going to be. All right? Have a great day. Grow good food. See ya.